And we are live. Hey, happy Friday, everybody. I wanted to come on here and just do a quick live on Friday and hope everybody is doing well. It's the end of the work week, which means the time is yours, right? Enjoy this weekend. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you briefly about the couple of episodes that dropped this week on Jamming with Jason podcast. And so let's talk just a little bit about echo chambers and intention. Now, some of you may be wondering what even is an echo chamber. So again, imagine that you're in this big round room. I have a farming background, so imagine it's like this big metal silo that you're standing in, and you're hearing all of the reverberation. Everybody who's in there with you, you're talking, and you're doing is hearing what everybody else is talking about, and the noise is just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing around. Well, that's kind of what an echo chamber is, okay, where you end up just really hearing kind of what everybody else is saying, and you don't realize what's going on outside in the rest of the world. And how does this relate to you? Well, in fact, most of the time you're in an echo chamber and you don't even realize it. What does that mean? Okay. Well, we tend to have a lot of friends who have common interests to us. We tend to hang around with people who have the same beliefs. They share the same stories that we have, right? So I'm sure that you've had those times when you're sitting around and it's kind of like a pity party, right? Everybody's just complaining about the same thing. Woe is me. Oh, blah, 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 right? I'm sure you've probably had some of those experiences before. Well, that's an echo chamber, right? Everybody that's in there is thinking and believing exactly the same thing. Now, that can be actually very, very dangerous because guess what? A lot of what other people say, a lot of what other people believe, a lot of the things that you're told are not actually true. Did you know that? Okay. There's actually a whole other things that are out there and truths and things that you might not even know about, right? And so, part of getting out of your echo chamber, which is one of the podcasts this week, is for you to stop and realize and think about, am I in echo chambers? Am I only hearing the things that I want to hear? This is where a lot of times cognitive biases come into our lives. We choose to believe things just because that's what we're told. We choose to believe things just because that's what everybody else says or thinks we should do. But I'll tell you, it may not be the right thing for you. Okay. So, when I was younger, my dad used to always tell me there were some great dad sayings and dad quotes, dad jokes that I like to share every so often. And one of them was, he always used to teach me, you know what, if everybody else ran around naked, would you? Well, I don't know, I might. Or, hey, if everybody jumped off a cliff, would you do it too, just because everybody else is doing it? Right. So what was he trying to teach me? And what am I trying to teach you so that you can learn from that particular episode? Well, one is, you're your own person. You have to do and believe and think what you think is the right thing to do. And as I said, sometimes we end up getting stuck in some of these echo chambers, and we just kind of go along with and do what everybody else is doing. So let me give you some examples of that, right? Well, for example, I do a lot. I teach a lot, and I help people pass certification exams, as an example. Well, one of the echo chambers that a lot of people get stuck in is, well, what certification should I get? They look around to everybody else. Well, what's the best one? What's the one that I should get that everybody else is getting? And they choose based on that, right? So again, they're being externally influenced and end up doing what everybody else says that they probably should do. Now, maybe that's okay for them. Maybe it's not, right? But are you more motivated by what other people are saying, or do you actually do what you want to do? Are you choosing to do what you want to do, or are you just going along with what everybody else is saying? So why am I talking about this? Because when you stay in echo chambers, your view of the world is very narrow, right? You only believe the things that are around you and that you're hearing from other people. And sometimes that can end up holding you back in your life. Because again, maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe that's not the path that you're intended to go down. And so just listening to everybody else is not going to help you, in being able to do that. So, how do you get out of the echo chamber? Well, go listen to the episode, right? You can find it on jasonmefford.com/jamming with Jason. Because again, a few minutes on this live isn't going to give you everything. But if you listen to the whole episode, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot more than what I can just give to you today, right? But part of it is just exposing yourself to different things. Do things that you normally wouldn't do. Experience things that you normally wouldn't experience. Okay. My wife and I we just started watching. It's a new documentary series. I think it's called Off the Cuff last night, which is actually interesting. It shows, one of them was talking about this group of people that have these 10,000 people show up at this event each year to play or role play being living in medieval times. And so they actually have, wars where people dress up, they have weapons, and they actually, fight with each other and try to recreate, right, that medieval time period. Well, I kind of knew that some of that existed, but I had no idea, right? So it was me kind of getting outside of my normal little bubble, my normal little echo chamber, and actually learning more about what other people do, what excites other people, because I had no idea that that even existed. Okay. And so again, that's part of trying to get out of the echo chamber is learning more about what's out there. Because again, maybe something else is good for you. Maybe something else is exactly what you need to do. But if you stay in that little comfort zone, if you stay in that little echo chamber, you're probably never going to find out, right? And what ends up happening is sometimes we just go through life doing what everybody else expects us to do. And then we wake up later in life and we realize that's not what I wanted to do. And so that's really kind of about the intention, which was the other episode that I did this week with my friend Mo Issa. Is a lot of times, we end up in this hypnotic trance during our life. We get up, we go to work, we do what we're told. You've got to do this to be successful. We do that. We chase the money. We chase the career. We do all these different things because why? We're listening to the echo chamber. Usually again, right? We're doing what everybody else is telling us that we need to do. And what ends up happening to a lot of people, and you might be able to relate to this, is you get part of the way through your life. Some of us are over half of the way through our life, right, in this body, and realize that, hold it, just a minute, maybe I'm not, right, living and doing the things that I want to do. And that usually causes people to freak out. They go into what's typically called a midlife crisis and realize, hold it, I'm not living my life intentionally. I'm not doing the things in my life that I want to do. And so they start making drastic changes. Now, at that point, after having spent 20 or 30 or 40 years doing certain things, often those changes can be pretty painful, right? People might leave a relationship. They might quit their job. They might do some of these other things. And you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to wait for a crisis to occur in your life to figure out what it is that you want to do and be more intentional about what you're going to do. So this is how those two episodes kind of relate together, right? Is Mo and I talk about how you can be more intentional in your life, find out those things that really do matter. Because at the end of the day, folks, I'm going to tell you, chasing the money, chasing the career doesn't usually provide you with a whole lot of satisfaction in life. In fact, some of the people that I know who are the most miserable, who are the most stressed out, who are depressed, are the people who externally you would look at them and you would think, wow, this person makes $300,000 a year. They have the perfect, family, that, partner, kids, they go on vacations, they do all these different things. They have a great life, but on the inside, they don't, right? Because they realize that they're just chasing something that they don't really want anyway, because they've been listening to that echo chamber and haven't actually been intentional about what they want to do in life. So that's a little recap of these two episodes this week. Again, you can find them at jasonmefford.com/jamming with Jason. But you can also listen to them anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google, anywhere you can pretty much find it. Just put in, search for Jamming with Jason, or put in my name, Jason Mefford, and you'll be able to find it. So go out, listen to those episodes. If you enjoy them, make sure and leave a review so that other people know about them as well. And again, if you found value listening to this video or listening to the podcast, make sure and share it with other people, right? Because again, this is something podcast, I'm not making money off this. I'm just here to try to serve and help share this information with other people out in the world. And any help that you can do, I would appreciate it, because I just want to get the message out to people. Because again, if this message resonated with you, it's probably going to resonate with other people that you know as well. So with that, I'm going to wrap up for today. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend. And I'll catch you on an episode of Jamming with Jason. See ya.